Alright. So I'm going to pass you guys out some drawing paper. I know I gave you guys a few pieces. That's going to be just our backup plan for in case something happens and we need to go remote. So this piece here I'm passing out to you guys will be what you guys will use for this project. Everyone's value sheet that we did yesterday should be finished. If you were not here yesterday, you'll have to work on that on your own. But we are going to start with this first project.
I think they go to Walmart. I'm too tired. Well, if I went to Walmart, then I have to work or babysit over there.
Guys, phones need to be put away. I mean, we're not going to be able to let you.
All of these ladies.
Katie, can you go to your assigned seat, please? Switch my chairs. Alright, so yesterday we practiced with our different values of our different pencils. You guys had 6 different value pencils. Alright, and we're going to do a kind of a practice project. We're going to be working on this probably most of the week. So everybody's is going to look similar, but you guys will be able to pick your own shapes that you want to do. Alright. Everybody should have this handout. I gave you guys, I want to say maybe yesterday. Was there anyone that was not here yesterday that needs one? You can come up here. Guys, I'm going to be demoing. That means voices are going to be off. Alright, so this is just a layered value drawing. So it's kind of like your value scale from light to dark that we did. Our examples are over here on the cabinet. Looking at those examples on the right, what's something that you notice about the darker values? What does it do for the drawing? It makes what?
Adds dimension.
Adds dimension. It makes things look further away. Alright, so we're going to start with the first 2 steps today. That's all my other class got to. So we'll try for there. The pencil that you want to start off with is going to be your lightest pencil. What number pencil is that? Who remembers? Your 4H. Okay, why do we want to start with our lightest pencil? You don't want to make a mistake and not be able to erase it. Now, for my case, I'm going to start with a darker pencil so you guys can see it on the board. But for you guys, I want you to make sure that you have your 4H. I had about 3 or 4 people last hour that did not pay attention, and they grabbed a really dark shade. And when I walked around and I saw they had a 4B or a 6B in their hand and they did work on their paper, they had to do a lot of erasing because they made their drawing too dark. Right? So your first step is you're going to draw 6 to 7 geometric shapes. What are organic shapes? What are organic shapes? They are shapes, yes. Can you use a tool to make them? No. They are free-form shapes. Any shape that you make using a tool is considered geometric. Alright? With these, we cannot use a tool to make it. So what I want you to do is I want you to start by drawing any shapes that you want to do on your paper. You do not have to copy mine. I want you to have at least 6 shapes. And make some interesting shapes. You don't have to do just circles. You can make them look like globs. And your pencil marks are not going to be as dark as mine because I'm using a darker pencil so you guys can see. So I was able to fix 6 large shapes on here. Now, do you see a lot of empty space in between my shapes? No. You don't want to leave a whole lot of extra space. If you have a lot of extra space, fill it in with another shape. You can have more than 7 shapes, but if you start getting in the higher number of shapes, that means the smaller your shapes are going to be. Okay, but you're drawing your shapes using your 4H pencil. You're using 4H. How many of you are still drawing your shapes? After you have all your shapes drawn, then I want you to find your 2H pencil. That's your second to lightest, your 2H pencil. Guys, if your pencils start getting too short, sharpen your pencils with the sharpener I have provided to you, but make sure those shavings go in the trash. Yesterday after this class, I found several shavings in my floor. Please do not leave shavings on the table or in my floors. Sweep them off into a trash can. Alright, so our next step is we are going to start shading from dark to light, which is similar to what we were doing here on this gradient value scale. But instead of starting at our 6B, which is really dark up here, we're starting in towards our end lighter values. So you're going to start from your edge and you're working your way over. Now, what did I tell you guys to do to avoid smearing graphite across your paper? Yes, put a piece of paper under your hand. Now, if you are right-handed, how many of you guys are right-handed? Okay, most of you? Then work left to right. How many of you are left-handed? Work right to left. Why do you think I'm having you do that? So you're not moving your palm across your paper that you've already shaded. Okay? Later it's going to get a little tricky to do that. That's why the paper under your hand is a very good tool. Make sure you are using that. Right? So you're going to start from the edge of your paper or your shape, and you want to incorporate your edge into your value. You do not want it to look like you have a harsh outline. Alright, so we're going to start shading from dark to light, and we're lifting up our pencil and making that value light as we go out to the center of the paper. Now, am I using the point of my pencil or the side of my pencil? Am I using the point or the side? The side. Why am I using the side? Guys, I hear a lot of talking. I am demoing. We need to be quiet. Answer my questions. Am I using the point or the side?
Side.
Why am I using the side? Yeah, it's easier to shade. And what do you do if your blending tools get dirty? You're going to wipe it on a paper to clean off that graphite. And then use your blending tool to blend from your dark to light. You're using this tool to blend out the graphite that's already on your paper. not to add graphite to your paper. So if you don't clean your tools, you're going to end up adding graphite, and it's going to make it darker than what you anticipate. And then we're just going to work around our first shape. Now, am I rushing through this, or am I taking my time? Yeah, take your time. You don't want to rush through it, because then things aren't going to blend well. Avoid making a very dark outline with your shading. You don't want it to look like an outline. You want it to look like it's a value from dark to light. A nice transition. And then also when you're shading, you want to shade along with the contour of the shape. What is the contour of the shape? The way it's shaped, the way it looks. You want to follow those lines. This allows your shape to have more of that three-dimensional effect. Okay, so I've got the start of my first shape. I'm going to walk around and see how everybody's doing. Take your time.
So I thought went on, maybe you just screw it back in the room, but this is just practical. Oh, okay. You want me to just use that? I can do that. Yeah. It is my practice. True. Alright, you can scale it. so mean, Haley.
What?
How'd I?
I didn't read the part of it.
No,
Yeah, me, I
just be mean to the student.
I didn't know that.
You built it all about.
Okay.
Stop starting over noise. No, you're doing
Maybe
it.
you should show them.
You should get running. I was wondering where.
I was running for over 2 minutes.
Oh my gosh, this would be a hard day to go.
It keeps it getting an outline effect.
I did the things inside of the bubbles. I'm doing that. I already got it. I don't know what this one is.
Perspective.
Honestly, I want the little airplane right there.
So just the top. Like your vanishing point.
I don't know, actually. I don't have that. I'm just testing this.
Well, you would
I just wanted to see if it would look good.
So I cut time and curl my nose like that.
Do you believe me? I'm like, I probably I was like, no, it's not going to
When you are finished with your first one, move to your next one. You guys have we get out of here what, 45 after?
Yeah.
So we've got 20 minutes before we have to clean up. Alright, so since I'm working left to right, I'm going to continue on these side shapes. So I'm making sure I have my 2H. And I'm going to start dark to light. Remember, if your blending tools get too dirty, go back with them and clean them up off on a scrap piece of paper. If you have your sketchbook, I would probably designate like your first page or so for a cleaning off spot for your blending tools. But if they get real dirty, which they shouldn't right now because you guys are using your really light pencils, so you shouldn't be getting a whole lot of graphite on it. But when you start with your HB, 2B, and 4B and 6B, that's when your tools are going to start getting dirty. But remember, we used our 4H and our 2H right now. We're not touching any of our other pencils. If it helps you, put those pencils in your bag so that way you're not tempted to touch them. But just keep your 2H and your 4H out. That way you don't accidentally mix up your pencils and grab the wrong one. Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Miss Timothy?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Where do you want this mobile box at?
Just put it back there in the corner. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
So you're only bringing out these values to about 1 inch. You're not going to be filling up these whole shapes, because we're going to be adding shapes inside shapes. What was that? Can you turn it off, please? Thank you. Guys, I don't mind if you visit, but make sure you guys are working, please. You have at least 6 shapes to shade right now. You guys have about 15 minutes left. How's everybody doing? Anybody need some one-on-one help? Remember, if you get any smudge marks on the outside of your shapes, take your eraser and kind of clean that up. If you do that as you go, you're going to have a lot less cleanup at the end when you have to clean up smudges. And then be conscious of where you lay your hand and keep that paper under your hand. You doing one too?
No, I'm switching out something. Oh, you know what?
Okay, there's extra drawing paper there if you want some. And just keep going to your next shape. You've got lots of shapes. And just keep working, guys.